So you're playing Stinger on the NES, and you've made it to that big-ass watermelon, or the giant boombox, or even to the space serpent itself. So how do you defeat them? What are the best upgrades to get to ensure the fights go fast? Let me show you how to blast your way through the strange leaders of Stinger like a boss. Stinger is an odd game to say the least. The enemies you encounter are items you'd find in a thrift store, and others look like pieces of candy you'd find on Halloween. Just like a lot of flying shooters on the NES, Stinger gives you opportunities to grab upgrades. These upgrades can boost your speed, strengthen and change your main weapon, and even give your ship shielding and add satellite ships to help your main ship. These upgrades are given to you in the form of colored bells. In the stages of Stinger, there are clouds that pass by you as you venture towards the boss areas, and inside of these clouds are bells. You can either shoot the bells out with your gun or tap the A button to launch a small heart out of the top of your ship to push the bell out of the cloud and juggle it. The reason it's important to juggle the bell with your gun or your heart is because as you hit the bell, it changes colors, and these colors indicate what type of upgrade your ship will get. And if you feel like you're going to need some extra lives to help you along, at the title screen, you can enter the famous Konami code. Yes, the one you'd enter in Contra to get 30 lives, and you can grab 30 extra lives to help you out in Stinger. Some of the stages in Stinger are viewed from overhead, and on these stages, your A button is used to target and drop bombs on the enemies on the ground. So in these overhead stages, you'll have to juggle the bells with your main gun. Let's go over the different colors of the bells so you know what you're getting. The blue bells increase the speed of your ship. It's great to have some extra maneuverability, but be careful. Stinger is one of those games if you speed up too much, you can actually have less control of your ship. Just a few blue bells should get you where you need to be. The white bells give your main gun a double shot, so instead of shooting a single sphere, you get two. The pink bells equip your ship's gun with a laser. This stout blue beam is the highest upgrade your ship can get, so juggle a bell until it's pink and grab a laser. If you shoot a bell long enough, it will begin to flash, and these flashing bells can grant you pretty big bonuses. But beware, if you shoot a bell for too long, it will turn into one of these weird-ass faces and fly around, and could possibly strike your ship. The flashing blue and white bell will give your ship a defensive barrier in the front, and it can absorb a limited number of enemy attacks. The flashing pink and white bell creates two transparent shadow or satellite ships that will mimic the actions of whatever you command the main ship to do. Also, whatever gun your main ship is armed with, that's what your ghost ships will have as well. You have lots of opportunities on the first stage of Stinger to upgrade your ship. Like stated earlier, you only need a few blue bells to get your speed where you comfortably want it, and you'll want to get a pink bell to have a laser. After that, go for the flashing bells and get yourself a barrier and the ghost ships. If you can do all this, the bosses of Stinger won't stand a chance, and with 3 concentrated lasers firing at them simultaneously, your fights will end quick. At the end of the first stage is a giant slice of watermelon. It will move vertically up and down on the screen and fire a barrage of seeds at you. If you've got your ghost ships activated and your ship's armed with lasers, this fight will literally be over in a second. At the end of stage 2 is the octopus, a creature whose arms will turn into spears and drop down onto your ship. If you still have your lasers and ghost ships, this fight will be over before it has even started. At the end of the third stage is the faucet. Yep, it's a giant pissed off faucet that shoots large bubbles. Much like the watermelon, it'll move vertically on the screen. Keep moving vertically with the faucet, as this will keep your ghost ships spread out and give you a wider range with your lasers. At the end of the ice stage is what I'm calling the ice box, a blue rectangular robot that has a long arm made of discs that will rotate around the screen. Focus on firing into the long rectangular mouth of the robot and you'll dispatch it in no time. At the end of the canyon stage is the boombox. This big radio shoots music notes out at you and bounces horizontally across the screen in an erratic pattern. Focus on shooting the blue part of the boombox where the level adjustments are. The music notes it shoots can be destroyed by your gun, so stay focused on shooting the blue portion of the boombox, and don't try to follow it unless you have enough speed to do so. Stage 6 in Stinger is when you leave the safety of the Earth and start heading out into space. The boss here is a large three-eyed sun that moves vertically up and down the screen. It has these green flares that rotate around it to guard it. Focus on shooting the sun's center and avoid the green flares. At the end of the 7th and final stage of Stinger is the snake. I'll be honest, after all the weird and wild stuff we've fought throughout this game, I was expecting something off the charts at the end, but they gave us this. The snake maneuvers all around the screen, both vertically and horizontally, and you want to focus on shooting its head. Avoid its body and projectiles, and you'll have the professor saved in no time. So that's how you navigate through the bosses of Stinger like a boss. Share your Stinger stories with us in the comments below. I'd love to read about them, and thanks for watching.